Now, as we get into a section of videos now where I want to talk about what's new in Exchange Server 2003, understand that everything I've talked about up to this point kind of took you through the process of how to use Exchange, what Exchange does. Now, keep in mind, a lot of things have been left out, and I've given you some very basics, but what I wanted to get to was what's changed in Exchange Server 2003 and kind of get you up to speed on those. Well, the first thing we want to talk about is what's been removed. There are some things that are no longer in Exchange 2003 that might surprise you just a little bit. So let's take a look at those. First of all, there are some connectors that are missing. You're going to notice that there's no longer a Lotus Notes CC Mail connector. Also, there's not an MS Mail connector. Now, Microsoft has chosen not to support these any longer. And if you're still going to use these, then basically you need to leave an Exchange 2000 server in your organization and manage these off of the System Manager on the 2000 version. Okay, if you want to upgrade an existing 2000 server to Exchange 2003 and you have either one of these connectors, you're going to have to use that Exchange 2000 setup program to remove those connectors before you upgrade. So bottom line is Microsoft simply not supporting them, and in 2003 you can't use them. Real-time collaboration features. Now this one was kind of a shock to a lot of people as they first started learning about this. Here we're talking about instant messaging, conferencing, multimedia messaging, and so forth. All those things are gone in Exchange 2003. Now what's happened is Microsoft is rolling these into a new product that was codenamed Greenwich, I think, and it is now called Live Server 2003 or something similar to that. But it's going to be a collaboration server that takes care of those features. Microsoft separating those things out because to combine them with Exchange added another level of complexity and another level of just workload on the Exchange server. Something else that's missing that you're going to notice if you're an Exchange user from previous versions is the M drive. Now, the Exchange store has been typically mapped to the M drive on an Exchange server. Now, this gave you file system access to the Exchange stores. Now, this thing has been disabled by default in Exchange 2003 for one simple reason. This thing was causing problems on the mailbox store. Occasionally, the mailbox store would become corrupted from file system operations, such as things like file level virus scanners and so forth, or by running file backup software on the drive and so forth. And Microsoft had so many problems with it, they decided just to do away with it. Now they're even suggesting that if you're running 2000, Exchange 2000, that you should disable that M drive mapping feature. There's actually a Microsoft knowledge base article out there, and it's 305145. That's 305145 that tells you how to remove that M drive in Exchange 2000 server. So it's one of those things, good idea that turned out not to be such a good idea. The last thing that I want to talk about that's missing is the key management service. Now the key management service was used in Exchange 2000 with the Windows 2000 certificate service to create secure messaging environments. This gave you a public key infrastructure for public-private key encryption. Now Exchange 2000 no longer uses that. It supports fully standardized X509 version 3 certificates, and it works with any PKI solutions, and that's public key infrastructure solutions that support X509. So you don't have to use key management service anymore, and it's gone. Now these are the four most prominent features that are missing. You may see some other little things along the way, but understand these are the things you're going to come across most of the time, and they're no longer there.